Hey guys, in this video, we are going to understand exactly why applicants are not getting a job offer and what we can do to fix this problem right now. First, let me explain quickly what happens when you send out your resume.
So once you guys send your resume, it is going to go through a system called the ATS or the Applicant Tracking System. So if you guys are not familiar with this system, it's basically a software used by recruiters and employers during the hiring process to collect, sort, scan, and rank the job applications they receive for their open position. And then the system gives your resume corresponding points based on certain factors. Now, those resumes with the highest points will land in the hands of the HR recruiter. And then the HR recruiter is going to skim through your resume quickly, and if he finds what he is looking for, then your resume is gonna get endorsed to the hiring manager.
Now, the reality is that a lot of those resumes are never get endorsed to the hiring manager for several reasons. That's why in this video, we are going to dig deeper and understand why this is happening and what we can do to fix this problem right now. My name is Zid. Let's do this together. Problem number 1. You are a qualified applicant, however, your resume is being screened out by the applicant tracking system. So if I ask myself, I'm not getting a job offer, and the main reason is because my resume didn't make it to the first screening because it is not ATS optimized.
So on average, guys, a corporate job posting receives 250 applications, and of those 250 applicants, only 4 to 6 will be contacted for an interview. So 75% of resumes will never be seen by human eyes.
Now let's discuss the fix. Create a resume that will pass the applicant tracking system, and that means optimizing your resume with keywords. So each applicant is ranked based on the score they get from the ATS, and applicants with the highest score goes to the next stage. Now you guys must be asking, how does an ATS scores a resume? Before we move on, guys, please consider subscribing to my channel, hit the bell, hit the thumbs up. I really appreciate all the support.
So you guys want to know how an ATS scores a resume? The first factor is it determines the strength of your skills based on the number of times a term shows up in your resume. So if you guys want to get a higher points on this first factor, you must reiterate your skills throughout your entire resume rather than just in a skill section at the top of the resume. Let me explain further. So if you guys take a look at my resume, instead of just putting my skill PL SQL in this section, what I did is I kept repeating the same skill throughout my resume for all of the companies that I worked for in order for me to get a higher points for factor number 1. Now the second factor is the ATS assigns an estimated amount of experience for a particular skill. So if you go back to my resume, since I put my skill, which is PL SQL, in all of the companies that I've worked for, then ATS is going to compute for this particular skill based on the dates over here, and that is 10 years of work experience.
Now let me show you guys the actual result when I had my own resume passed through the ATS software.
Now let me show you guys how it looks like when a resume has been passed through the ATS software. This is actually the raw data pulled directly from my resume. So as you can see here, my experience appears to be concentrated in IT database with exposure to common and user data centric, has 10 years of work experience, and then underneath is my full name, most recent employer, most recent professional position, contact info, location, experience, most recent education, and management score. And where the ATS thinks I fit, it's 98% information technology and 1% common and user software. And then the ATS software picked up the keywords in my resume such as Oracle, PL SQL, SQL, HTML, JavaScript, Bash, unit test, database, test cases, payments, billing, and so on and so forth. So as you can see guys, this is where putting keywords in your resume is extremely important, because otherwise you won't get points based on factor 1 if the ATS could not pick up any keywords that they're looking for in your resume.
Now let's take a look at problem number 2. Resume is unorganized and hard for a recruiter to read. Now let's discuss the fix. So make sure guys that your resume is organized, clean, and it is very easy for recruiters to scan over so that it's easier for them to find what they're looking for. Always remember that the layout is as important as the content.
Alright, so if we guys compare this resume over here, which is a Canadian style resume, to this one over here, which is also a Canadian style resume, you can see that this one is much cleaner and easier to read, simply because of the layout and the formatting. So at a glance, the recruiter is able to understand exactly who I am and my areas of expertise. Compared to this one over here, it's also good, however there's just a little bit more of reading. Now if you guys want to download the resume with the new layout, you can always go to my website through this URL link, or you can click on this menu over here and click on the download button right here.
Let's move on to problem number 3. You do not have a clear indication of your role and the work that you've done. Now let's discuss the fix. Create a profile summary at the top of your resume, and this must not be more than 5 lines. So what happens is the recruiter is going to scan through your profile summary first, and if he finds what he's looking for, only he will go through the rest of your resume. So your profile summary guys is like a teaser, an advertisement, or where you showcase your best talent and skills, because if it is not compelling enough for the recruiter, then she or he is gonna go to the next candidate's resume.
So what you can do is to create a professional summary with no more than 5 lines, showcasing your best skills and experience. So at a glance, the recruiter can easily identify who you are and what you did.
Now let's see problem number 4. There is too much unnecessary words in your resume. Now let's discuss the fix. Only include job duties that are directly related to the job you're applying for. Again, always remember guys that time is money in the corporate world. So recruiters don't have enough time to read each and every line in your resume. What they're gonna do is they're just gonna skim through your resume and quickly find what they're looking for.
So make sure guys that your resume is only 1 to 2 pages, because to be honest, the recruiter is not going to read the 3rd, 4th, or 5th pages. As a matter of fact, he's only going to be reading the upper half of your first page and then scan through the 2nd page and will not go further than the 2nd page. And also make sure guys that you don't put more than 3 bullet points in every company that you've worked for. So as you can see here, the maximum bullet points is only 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2.
Finally, problem number 5. Resume is task-based rather than results-based. This means that your resume tells what you did and not what you achieved. And this is a common mistake for non-professional resume writers. Now let's discuss the fix. Simply convert your roles from task-based to results-based.
Alright, so instead of saying fixed JIRA issues and completed all tickets assigned, you can actually use results-based, which looks something like decreased the ticket count by 10% in a span of 3 months. So as you can see, the second one is more compelling and attractive to the eyes of the recruiter, and what actually recruiters want to see are results-based and not the task-based. So another example we have here, instead of saying negotiated contracts with vendors, it's better to use results-based, which looks something like slashed payroll benefits administration costs by 30% by negotiating pricing and fees while ensuring the continuation and enhancement of services. So as you can see, a change like this makes a dramatic improvement.
Now, one bonus tip on how to make a powerful resume is every time you guys did something significant or achieved something big, immediately update your resume, because sometimes it's very hard to remember things in the past because we tend to forget what we did or what we achieved. So basically, update your resume as you go along with your work. Thank you so much guys for watching. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to write down in the comment section down below. If you guys haven't watched my previous videos about Express Entry, you can try going through these videos right here. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Good luck!